That's the truth.
What a joke.
And the retirement benefits for our public employees, we have to raise holy hell to make sure that's not reduced.
Right.
Because they're going after them. I see Sid sitting back there. Sid is a warrior from, I was born in 1935. Sid was arrested in 1935 for leading insurrections in the city. Give him a hand. He could stand up here and tell you for 2 hours about it. This Florida Alliance has really invested a lot of time, energy, and so forth in this issue over the years. We were on board the first time we did it, and it was ruled unconstitutional because we had 2 issues on 1 ballot. That's why this time you had the legislative and the congressional was separated, and you voted for both of them, and they passed. So we know where we're at on that. We're going to have to keep our eye on the ball, and when the committee comes back, we will deal with whatever they come with. Healthcare reform is one of the big issues that we're going to deal with. We're going to have a not-for-profit healthcare bill submitted. It's not going to define the healthcare, but it will be conceptual in the sense that it will state we want them going on record to support and prove it. It may not get out of committee. The Republicans will control those committee hearings. But I think we have a responsibility to our membership and the seniors in this state to get legislation put forth that they could have voted for, and we can challenge and criticize. Many of us could relate to. We care more about our children than we do ourselves. And the thing that infuriates me the most is when the Republicans try to tell me, Tony, we're not taking your Social Security, we're not taking your Medicare away from you. This is for those that's under 55 and we're trying to preserve it. I said, no, you're not. Yeah, well, and I yelled at West in one of the town hall meetings, you're trying to steal Medicare from my children and they deserve it the same as we do. To provide jobs. And these job creators that the Republicans are trying to protect in the Congress by protecting the tax breaks, they are job creators. Well, hell, they've created all the jobs in China.
Right.
They didn't create them in America.
Right.
They exported the jobs for our young children. So these are the
answers to the wrong people.
Right.
And that's really what's important. It's not necessarily the smiley face you see. It's how they're going to vote and who they're going to listen to and what side.
So we're ready for this fight. Here in the Tampa Bay area, I've created a Save Medicare Task Force. We are galvanizing the doctors, nurses, Tim Heberlein from Chain, and others, the grassroots community organizers. We're all coming together to make a stand and make sure folks know that we're going to fight to keep Medicare. We're going to fight to improve it. We're not going to give up, and we're going to make it a campaign issue as well. We're not going to let them get away with it. It causes me great indigestion when I see Senator Marco Rubio, the senator from Florida, the senator, the state of Claude Pepper, the state of Lawton Childs, the state of Sam Gibbons. When that senator is saying we need to look at ending Medicare as we know it, I'm flabbergasted. He's never been challenged, he's never been tested, and I really encourage you, and Tony, as you start to talk with the moral authority that you all carry and you all bring, don't let him go unchallenged on it. He's a tragedy and anger to end what Warren Buffett the other day said, the coddling of the rich, protecting a very small percentage of very, very wealthy Americans to the detriment of everyone else. And I think people all across the state, all across this community, and all across the country are awakening to it. But you all play a very important role because You spend time educating yourself, and you know the details of all of this. You know when they say Medicare is in trouble. That doesn't mean that we rest on our laurels and we leave it alone. We can find efficiencies in Medicare, just like in the Affordable Care Act when we took back those overpayments to the insurance companies.
Right.
And plowed those savings back into improving care for our older neighbors. New screenings, free checkups, we closing the donut hole, better preventive care over time. We actually boosted some of the reimbursements to the doctors because we need the good doctors to stay in Medicare serving patients. Plowing those savings back into improving Medicare and lengthening the life of the Medicare Trust Fund. Now that doesn't mean we don't have to look at this huge baby boom population that is coming. But that doesn't mean that you end Medicare as we know it, that we break the promise that has kept older Americans out of poverty since 1960. There wasn't one Republican member of the U.S. House of Representatives that crossed the aisle to vote no on the Ryan budget. They all voted to end Medicare as we know it. And it's particularly shocking in the state of Florida, where we have a higher percentage of older Americans than any other state. If you look at all of the districts, I find this quite fascinating. The district with the highest percentage of older Americans, 65 and older. Does anyone have a guess, or does anyone know? It's
Jenny Brown White. Oh,
it's
Sandy Adams now.
Vern Buchanan. It's Vern Buchanan. And
it used to be Jenny Brown White's.
Well, that's a huge district and it's overpopulated, so maybe by sheer numbers, but by percentage, Vern Buchanan. But I think the statistic is 10 of the top 12 districts by percentage of older Americans are Florida congressional districts. And yet all of those GOP members voted to end Medicare as we know it. Well, we're not going to stand for it.
I felt good about that. What in the heck did he expect me to say? No? My mommy didn't raise any fool. But it was very gratifying, and yes, we're going up there and we're going to try to do the best job we can. And I want to say something about that award. No one gets an award based on what they themselves only have done. If you're state president of an organization, you're an instrument of that organization representing that organization, and you get the credit and or blame for whatever that group of people do. So by me getting that award, in part, it's because of what you do and what we have done as a Florida Alliance.
Thank you for everything that you do in the state of Florida.
I will be there. You all have supported me, and I appreciate it.